Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would really help me out a lot. I appreciate it. Today I wanted to talk about persistence. Persistence came to mind today. Persistence means that basically you don't quit. That's what it is, boiled down to it, to its essence. If you're persistent, there isn't anything that can get in your way. Not because you're unstoppable or you're someone who can overcome it, even. It's mostly because you know where you're going and you know what has to be done. If you're persistent and an obstacle comes in your way, you can't always go through it, but you can absolutely find a way around it. Bringing that up reminds me of the Pokemon games. I don't know if anyone has played these games. I'm assuming a lot of people have. In these first games, there's something that would happen about halfway through the game. You had to go to one town and there was an obstacle in your way. A big monster just sleeping on the road. This thing was so big that you couldn't get past it. It took up the whole path, and you have to find a way around it. And that's pretty much it. You have to find a way around it. Now, this is just a game, but the idea runs true in real life because there are obstacles that you just can't get through. You have to figure out a way around them. Persistence is the trait that allows this. There really isn't anything else. It means that I will go to the ends of the earth. I will check every corner. I will do anything to figure out how I could do this. And it also just means I'm showing up. At the extreme, it means whatever obstacle's in front of me, I'm going to make it through it. But on a day-to-day basis, persistence just means I'm along for the ride. I'm here for it. And that's what gets you most of the way. So, persistence is actually almost 100% of what you need. It's just the ability to continue. When I get stuck, I will find a way around it. When I have to slow down, I will keep going until I could speed back up again. When I have to stop, that's okay. Because as soon as I could start again, I'm starting again. And I will see that moment when it comes, and I will take advantage of that. That's persistence. It's a skill, too. This is something that's built. In a way, it relies on momentum. Momentum of itself. So, when an obstacle comes in your way, if you don't give up hope, if you don't give in, you keep that persistence, you carry it along with you. But if you start to falter, you can't carry it with you. You just can't. You lose it. It's interesting that you can use it even when you're not visibly using it in any way. It's almost like a state of mind, something that you can hold on to or let go. Persistence is really the defining trait of physical fitness. I've been reading this book lately, The Complete Book of Running. I believe that's what it's called. The Complete Book of Running by Runner's World magazine. And in this book, one of the chapters is a real short chapter. It's about Oprah. Oprah, the television star, host of The Oprah Show. In 1994, actually going back a year, in 1993, she was severely overweight. In fact, obese. And she couldn't take it anymore. So she got a personal trainer, and this guy had her on a running plan. Running. She took it really seriously. She ran 5 days a week at least. She started out slow because, of course, she couldn't run at the beginning. She could run very, very little at the beginning. She was running a 17-minute mile, which, if you know anything about running, you would know a 17-minute mile is very slow. And she kept on it. She kept working it. She started strength training. She started doing cardio outside of her running, using the Stairmaster, the stair machine. She stuck with it, and in a year and a half, she ran a marathon. She lost over 70 pounds. She ran a marathon, a half marathon, just based off of the fact that she didn't let anything get in her way. Not her job, not what other people thought of her, not anything. Not the toughness of the challenge. She decided, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick to it. It is what it is. And as she progressed, she got better. First, she couldn't run that much. Walk 5 minutes, run 1 minute, right? Very simple introduction to running plan. She started out really slow. And in 2 weeks, she could run. In a few more weeks, she could run longer. In a few more weeks, she could run 30 minutes nonstop. And she started improving her pace. She got all the way down to an 8-minute mile. And she ran a marathon after a year and a half of training. She ran it in a very respectable pace, at a very respectable pace. Now, I don't know if this is a true story or not. I'm going to take it at the face value and believe it. And I don't know what kind of person Oprah is, but if this is a true story, one thing I could say about her is she is persistent. She stuck to it because that's what she decided. That is persistence. Persistence is one of those things that you can't fake. You can't fake it. There's this quote that I brought up in another one of my videos. Chris Williamson, I believe that's his name, Chris Williamson, says this in one of his podcasts with Jocko Willink. I don't know if it's his quote or not, but he says, if you fake motivation when you don't want to do something, and you fake motivation and you do it anyways, that is motivation. He says, if you're terrified and you fake bravery, that is bravery. And in the same sense, if you can't find a way and you don't want to do something and you fake being persistent, that is persistence. That is it. You keep pushing, you keep trying. There's got to be a way to do this. There's got to be a way to do this. There's got to be a reason to do this. Sometimes we're lacking a reason, and the reason is found on the way. People have been asking me why I plank. I don't know. I know that I'm persistent though, and I'm going to figure out why I'm planking. That's for sure. What I do know is that my persistence has made me a little bit better. When I first started out, I was doing 10 minutes of planking a day. Now I'm doing 15 minutes. When I first started out, I was doing minimum 1 minute per set of plank. Now I'm doing 1.5 minutes. When I first started, I was really struggling. Now, I'm not struggling that much anymore. That's what persistence earns you. You get a little bit better. And the improvements aren't always visible. If you've been lifting weights for a long time, like years, a decade, and you've reached a believed limit, a limit that you believe you've reached a limit, right? Persistence is what gets you through that limit. Lifters will often get stuck. They plateau. And they try and try and try. And eventually, usually they break that plateau. Or they give up. That's what happens. There is a world strongest man. I forget his name. Eddie Hall? Yeah, Eddie Hall, I believe is his name. He got stuck deadlifting 420 kilos, which is no small number, right? But he got stuck on this amount for 3 years, he said. For years, he could not deadlift any more than this. But he kept trying, he kept trying, he kept trying. Eventually, he found something that said, your nervous system can't recover from a maximum exertion lift in under 10 days. That's what he found. This little bite-sized piece of information. And guess what? He altered his training and he got his deadlift up by another 80 kilos. Just because he kept going, just because he kept pushing, he eventually stumbled across this information that said, actually, you don't have to be training this much. And he started training with less frequency on these heavy lifts. And then he broke a world record. 500 and 1 kilogram deadlift. That's what persistence gets you. Thank you for watching today. I'm going to leave it at that. Try to cultivate some persistence in your own life. My persistence today is doing these 10 90-second planks that I really did not want to do or feel comfortable doing. That's it. Bye now.